Hello viewers. So in this session 2 on maintenance of sprinkler irrigation system for unit 3, which is on operation and maintenance of micro irrigation system, for the job role of micro irrigation technician, we are going to learn about the maintenance of sprinkler irrigation system. Proper and timely maintenance of micro irrigation system is necessary to ensure most efficient use of water that is being applied. The micro irrigation system should be cleaned and maintained periodically to remove dirt and debris that have built up over the time. Replacement of irrigation system components must be made with materials of the same manufacturer and model as the original equipment. All parts must have the same output and coverage specifications as the previous equipment and components of the micro irrigation system. Now, the maintenance can be done daily, monthly, weekly or yearly. So, let's see what do we need to do daily. The daily actions that are required are as follows. Check that pump and block pressure are within the prescribed limits. Check for clogged, broken or misplaced emitters. Repair, replace, unclog or reposition the emitters. Check for water wastage and leaks in pipes and repair them immediately. Flush the primary filters as prescribed by the manufacturer. Check that fertigation applications are within the specifications. Flush the lateral lines as prescribed by the manufacturer. Check and repair exposed joint if needed. For example, quick coupling rubbers. Flush the secondary filters as prescribed by the manufacturer. Check that the system pressure and flow are as per the irrigation design plan. So the weekly maintenance is also to be done. And what are the actions required? Let's see. Check that pump operation is within the prescribed parameters. Check that the block pressures are within the prescribed limits where you have done automation or where automated valves are used. Check pump oil levels as prescribed. Check for leaks and repair them. Now let's see what are the monthly maintenance plan that you need to execute. Visually check the valves, water meter and gauges and look for damage and vandalism. Open and inspect the filters as prescribed by the manufacturer. Check for leaks at the pump station that causes water losses and air locks. The pump motor must be greased as prescribed by the manufacturer. Check the service valves and replace them if required. Clean the filters and replace them annually or in a period of 2 years. Change oil in the pump. Now let's see what do you need to do annually. Take water sample at the end of the lateral line and send it for analysis. Test specific emitters for discharge and pressure. Replace the nozzles annually and the other part whenever that is needed. So you need to take some action in 2 to 10 years duration. Replace the bearings and other worn out parts of the pump every 5 years. Replace the diaphragms in hydraulic valves every 3 years. Replace the poly pipe and emitters every 7 to 10 years. Now let us see what is the maintenance schedule for the pump. Now check the bearing temperature as the bearing may run hot due to lack of lubrication or its excess. Quarterly you need to drain the lubricants in the ring oil bearings of the pump and wash out the oil wells and bearing with kerosene. Half yearly check the alignment of the pump and driver and add shims if required. If misalignment occurs frequently, the entire piping system may have to be checked and necessary corrective actions may have to be taken. Replace gland packing if required. So what you need to do yearly is thoroughly inspect the unit once in a year, remove bearings, clean and examine them for flaws, remove the packing and examine wear and tear in the shaft sleeve or shaft. Disconnect coupling valves and check alignment. Inspect footwall and check valves. Now let's see what are the general problems and their causes in pump operation. Suppose there is no water delivered in the pump, then what could be the cause? Pump is not primed. Discharge head might be too high. Suction lift is too high. Impeller or suction pipe completely plugged. air pocket might be there in the suction line. Wrong direction of the rotation. Suppose there is not enough water being delivered by the pump, then it could be air leak in the suction line or stuffing box, or the speed could be too low, insufficient submergence of suction inlet, bearings have been worn out. If there is not enough pressure developed by the pump, then what could be the reasons for that? Excessive amount of air or gas in liquid. The other could be bearings have worn out, impeller diameter is too small. So what are the other causes that might affect the pump? The pump works for a while and then loses the prime. So the cause could be air leak in suction line or clogging, excess amount of air or gas in liquid, water seal tube clogged, insufficient submergence of suction inlet. If pump requires excessive power, then what could be the reason? The speed might be too high, there is a misalignment, the stuffing box is too tight, or there could be a rotating element rubbing or binding, there might be a bent shaft, or the bearings have worn out. Now if the stuffing box leaks excessively, then it might be due to that packing is worn out and not adequately lubricated, and it is also possible that the shaft has bent. If the pump is noisy or vibrates, then it might be due to impeller or suction pipe partially plugged, or the foundation that you have laid for installation of the pump is not rigid, or there might be lack of lubrication, or the bearings have worn out. So these are the causes that might affect your pump, and your pump might not function properly. So let's see what are the actions that you need to take in order to ensure that your pump works smoothly. Periodically clean dirt or sand out of the groove in the coupler in which the rubber sealing rings fit. Keep all nuts and bolts tight. Do not lay pipes on new damp concrete or on piles of fertilizers. Avoid trampling over the pipes. Remove the end stop or end cap and flush the laterals or pipes for 1 to 2 minutes. Flush the sub-mains at the end of the irrigation process to remove debris. This will help in gaining higher velocity in the laterals and pipes for cleaning. Now let's see what are the actions that you need to take in order to maintain the sprinklers. So when moving the sprinkler lines, make sure that the sprinklers are not damaged or pushed into the soil. Do not apply oil, grease or any lubricant to the sprinklers. They are water lubricated, and using oil, grease or any other lubricant may stop them from working. Check the washers for wear and tear once a season or every 6 months, which is especially important where water is sandy. Replace the washers if they are worn out. After several operations, the swing arm spring may need tightening. This is done by pulling out the spring end at the top and rebinding it. This will also increase the spring tension. Now let's learn about cleaning filters. Clean the filters every 5 to 6 hours or at recommended timings based on the water quality analysis report. After cleaning the filters, operate the bypass valve of the header assembly to obtain the desired pressure in the system. It must be about 1.5 to 2 kg per centimeter square at the inlet of the filter and 1 kg per centimeter square at the inlet of the sub-main. Turn off water supply to one zone and remove nozzles and sprinkler heads. Run water through the zone for few minutes until the filter is clean and a clear stream of water flows from each sprinkler. Take apart the nozzles, which depends on the type. You can do this by hand or with a screwdriver or special key, and clean the nozzles to remove the dirt or deposits. Rinse the filter screen or basket, reassemble the filter and replace the damaged or worn out parts. Turn on the zone again to check that everything is leak proof and operational. So this is how you can clean your filters. Backwashing. Backwashing is a process in which the direction of the flow is reversed so that water flows upwards through the sand bed. If backwashing is not done regularly, then impurities accumulate in the sand bed, thereby reducing the efficiency of the filter. Besides, the system does not get water at the desired pressure. So, backwashing is very important. The backwash operation is complete when clear water starts flowing out through the backwash valve. So, in this session, you have learnt about the general cleaning and maintenance of pumps, pipes and fittings of a sprinkler irrigation system. You have also learned about the problems and their causes in operation of the pump and other components of the sprinkler irrigation system, so that you can take appropriate action to resolve the problems in time. I am sure in this session you have learned about the maintenance of pump and other accessories of the micro irrigation system, particularly the sprinkler irrigation system. So keep watching and keep learning. Thank you.